7:37 West African time. This is Daybreak. Thanks for staying with us. Francis Uzoho has described the overwhelming emotions of being recalled to the Super Eagles ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. The goalkeeper, who was the first player to arrive at the national team camp in Cairo in the early hours on Sunday, said returning to the squad felt like coming home. Fellow goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali arrived later the same day, joining Uzoho in preparation for the tournament.
Filled with joy, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. If you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. He's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
Now, Nigeria is stepping up efforts to strengthen its sports sector, addressing long-standing challenges ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. The sector has faced chronic underfunding, weak infrastructure and governance issues, while grassroots programs and athlete support have been limited. Poor planning and corruption have often hampered preparation for major competitions, affecting the country's global competitiveness. Now, in response, the federal government has increased sports funding and reinstated the National Sports Commission to ensure better coordination and transparency. Reforms now focus on improving training facilities, coaching standards, and integrating sports into education to develop talent from the grassroots. Policies like Athletes First are aimed at boosting support for national teams and preparing them for AFCON and other continental competitions. Officials hope that sustained investment, strong governance, and better infrastructure will not only improve Nigeria's performance on the field, but also build a more sustainable and competitive sports ecosystem for the future.
Well, for more on the country's preparedness for the Africa Cup of Nations and the reforms needed in Nigeria's sporting sector, we're joined live in the studio on Daybreak on Arise News by the chairman of National Sports Commission, Mr. Dikko. Thank you for joining us live on Daybreak on Arise News.
Thank you very much. Always my pleasure.
Yeah, I really have to thank you for making our time this early morning to join us. But now, putting you on account of stewardship now, with few days to the AFCON, can you look into the camera and promise Nigerians that the Super Eagles will return with the gold trophy?
That's a tough call. It's football, So there are 24 teams competing for the same trophy, and at the end of the day, only one team will win. But, Nigeria always we have a standard when it comes to AFCON. The minimum is the Nigerians expect. They have to see our team at least playing the semi-final and the final, and then we see what happens. So based on the last result of the AFCON, where we were in the final and we came second, naturally the feeling and the belief from everybody that the only way we can do better this time around is to try as much as possible to get the cup. And that is the vision, and that is the objective. So that is what the coaching crew, the NFF, ourselves, and the players are all looking forward to. So I can assure Nigerians that we're going to do everything possible to provide all the enablers that we get the players to perform to the best ability towards getting the cup, because that's the only thing we could get. If we have a silver last time, the minimum you can look for this time around is to at least go above the silver and see whether we can get the gold medal, the cup this time around. So definitely we're going to make sure we put the best performance we could do as much as possible.
Okay, let me take you back to Rabat, Morocco, where the Super Eagles players in their camp refused to continue training due to lack of payment of bonuses and some other payments that were supposed to be made to them. Why do we as a country continue to allow such embarrassments to occur? And what have you put in place as a commission to ensure that, you know, the funds that are released to AFCON for other international, you know, players are transparently managed and released to the players?
Well, to be honest, I don't want to talk about that particular issue because, to be honest, I think the players at that time were a bit agey and maybe impatient at that particular point in time, because there was actually no reason for that particular strike that we talk about. The last couple of years, I don't think I remember what time the Super Eagles did that kind of thing. It has been very many years ago they did that. They did that kind of stuff. And I can tell you that since we came on board as the National Sports Commission, not just the Super Eagles, we made sure at every point in time, whatever is due to the athletes is due to the athletes, is given to them at the right and the appropriate time. Yes, in some instances there could be delays because of the processes, because it's money issues, that you have to move money from here to dollars to CBN to whatever it is. So that issue of the Rabat issue, the money was even so too insignificant that even less than $150,000 or thereabout, which was supposed to be some monies for the last match, which were being processed at that particular point in time, and the players knew. And but it's what it is. Lesson learned. I'm sure we asked the NFF, they have to engage the players more to make sure they have the right conversation and at every point in time and inform the players and the team on what is going on and what is happening. But what I assure you with that is that since the coming of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, these things he has always put his first lead by the line in front to make sure that whatever is needed for sport is on the table. But sometimes approving money is different, processing the money out of the system is also a different scenario altogether. There could be delays here and there, but whatever is due to everybody is being paid to them at the right appropriate time. And this time around it will be the same thing as well. We are working hard to make sure that what is in place, we put it together to get it done. The president have doses on because the AFCON and everything was approved as long as I think December 14th, those approvals were made, but still we have to follow the process to process the money through finance, through CBN, through whatever. But at least the president have to have done his part. Now it is us, the officials, to do our own process to make sure the funding are available. Not just the commission, it has the Ministry of Finance, the Accountant General Office, CBN. There are processes to collect government money, especially in this kind of situation. But everything is being done to make sure that we eliminate the repeat of that kind of embarrassing situation. But I assure you, at that time, even the players were just a bit agey and impatient, which led to that. But everything was resolved within 12 hours or thereabout, and everything was okay.
Okay, so how prepared is Nigeria for AFCON at the moment, looking at it holistically from the training to the logistics and the players' welfare? Well,
you know, the training is only starting today because this AFCON is an in-season competition, so there was no break. It is only today that officially FIFA allow all the players that are coming for AFCON to join their various national teams to prepare for the AFCON that is starting in the next 7 days or thereabout. So the team is coming together, but you can know that the team is only coming out of the just World Cup qualifiers. The playoffs was last month, and so it is the core of that team that are already in this AFCON team. So we can say the preparation has been going on for long to get that done. What the NFF and we work together NFF to do is that we have a training camp in Egypt. The players are reporting to Egypt for the next few days, and then they will play test matches with Egypt to see the new players and everything like that. And the coach have rejigged the team a little bit. Out of the 20, but the core of the team still remains, so which means they are still core of what we have been playing for the World Cup qualifiers. Out of the 23 that were at the World Cup playoffs, I think about 18 or thereabout are still in this squad. Only about 5 are new players, and there are other new players that were also brought on the table who are not at the playoffs. So And the coach have looked at the team where I think he has issues, has brought some new players, about 5 new guys that have not even played before for a long time. 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 1 striker. 2 young midfielders, 1 old midfielder, and 1 new young striker, at least to complement the old people that were there. So I think all the things that need to be done have been put in place. It's for us to make sure we follow through. And the new slogan now is Naija for the win. So that's the psyche we are trying to build with the team, that we are going for the win. We are not going for anything less than the win.
Okay, Alhaji Shehu Dikko, let me take you back to 2023 when there was so much momentum and so much uproar that on the need for a structural reform in Nigeria's sports sector. And that gave birth to the National Sports Commission Act of 2023, and many sports followers were particularly delighted with that Article 16 that gave you so much sweeping powers administratively and politically to exert yourself and to bring in your ideas. And just a few months ago marked your 1 year in office when you highlighted that you've been able to initiate Athletes First and invited junior athletes reforms. I want to ask, how far has this impacted the sporting corner pictures of the country? And also, why is Coach Chile being owed about 3 months' salary?
When I can, I can tell you the reforms since the coming of the National Sports Commission, which was officially on 23rd October 2024. And I got myself to lead the commission, and later my DG, Honorable Bukola Olapade, come on board. So the 2 of us have been working together, and the last 1 year, the output is very, very clear. Everybody can feel it, everybody can see it. The reforms is total across all sectors, and across whatever we are trying to achieve is already being in play. Before the year runs out, we are going to release a full complement of what has been done in the last 1 year, not just in the sporting sector, in the sporting activities itself, but also the contribution of the sports to the economy and the new reforms that we have done and all stuff like that. But in a nutshell, the changing of the mind that we have to be more domestic prepared and concerned before international competitions, the kind of international competitions we have participated across all sports. As I yesterday, I was even coming back from Burundi. There were my athletes coming back from China, from the handball and stuff like that. Everybody is being involved. And the last 1 year, you look at it, Nigeria have won more than 400 medals across all sports. Across all sports, across the world. And that has never happened before. We just came back from for example, the Islamic Solidarity Games in Riyadh last month, and where Nigeria posted its best ever performances ever. The medals we won in this edition, in total, is much, much more than what we have ever won before. In all the previous editions we have participated. So this is the kind of reforms that you are seeing. And in all these processes we have done, we have never had the athletes complaining that things are not done the right way, or they don't have this, they don't have that. Everything has been, that's the athletes first we are talking about. The federations has been restructured to get the right people to be coming to the federation. That is why you can see, for example, the Minister of Finance, our Coordination Minister of the Economy, coming to be the President of Boxing Federation, the CG Custom coming to be the President of Wrestling, Senator Nkombo, for example, taking the chairs. Victor O'Shea, former Speaker of this one, coming to take Tennis Federation. So you can see quality across the kind of leadership across all the federations. It's trust in the reforms that we have been putting in place. Now we are in the right direction. That's why we are attracting this kind of caliber of people to be in place. So there are so many decisions we are taking. Even last month, for example, Mr. President approved some strategic decision to change this sporting culture and to even remove these issues of funding gaps by giving directives that whatever sports needs should be put in the budget. And once the budget is passed, whatever money is the budget for sports should be released immediately once the president signed the budget. So basically, do we make sure that the money is available in time, so no gaps that would delay the payment of players or delay all these issues and stuff like that. So, and I believe the issue of Eric Sheikh, for example, is a contract between Shell and the NFL. But since Shell come on board to Nigeria, the National Sport Commission took over the payment of his salaries as support to the NFL, even though we are not part of the contract. So, and I don't think the coach have come out to complain to anybody that he's being owed or whatever. that media are saying what they have to say, but the coach know what he's doing and know how to get him paid.
Okay, if I may come in here, you've mentioned the gains from the reforms. I'd like to ask very quickly, what is the biggest resistance that you have faced in trying to reform that sector, and how did you do with the pushback, very briefly?
To be honest, I can tell you there was little or not much pushback like that, because everybody, the stakeholders in the sport, see the vision of Mr. President, see what he's doing, and see that this is the right direction. There's never been a commission or an appointment of myself or my DG that the whole stakeholders were backing in and saying this is the right thing. Maybe only one or two, it's normal, they'll complain about it. So everybody was aligning to the vision because they can see clearly the road is very, very clear. And that's where we are heading to. The biggest issue we had is how to resolve, to make sure that sports is being treated, especially the way it is, because sports is a special nature of it. It's timely. If you approve money for sports and you don't release it, it doesn't mean you can treat sports like a contract, for example, the money for sports. Because if you say we are playing AFCON next week, that AFCON must be played. It will never. That date must come and the matches must be played. So you can't wait. If you delay payment for sports, for example, like a contractor, he can stop working. The next time you pay him, you continue the job. But on this one, so we are changing this kind of narratives and what have you. And the last count we had, when we are counting the impact, we have got like almost 1.5%, 1.2% of GDP. That's what we contributed in the last quarter, based on the data from the relevant authorities. Almost 122,000 jobs across all the country and stuff like that are being powered by sport and stuff like that. Okay. So we're okay with that.
Okay, Alhaji Shehu Dikko is seasoned sport administrator and also the chairman of National Sports Commission of Nigeria. Thank you so much for making our time to be part of Daybreak on Arise News. Thank you so much indeed. That's all we have time for here on Daybreak. I'm Benga Ashiru. It's goodbye for me.
And I'm Constance Ikoko. Thanks for joining us on Daybreak today.
And I'm Yolanda Robert. Please do keep it here on Arise News. The morning show is next. Goodbye.